Just wanted to share a couple of quick observations about the dimensions by which British English differs from Canadian English in the pronunciation of a couple of different consonant sounds. Now, I won't get into the vowel stuff, but you will notice me changing the shape of my mouth for the vowels, and that's mostly to do with rounding. But just talking about the consonants in question, we'll start with the L sound. So in Canadian English, the L is short. It's called a light L at the onset of words or the onset of syllables, and you'll hear it like leaf, love, light, lull. So you'll hear this push off very gently of the alveolar ridge of the tongue tip, just pushing off, and there's no tension in the back of the mouth. That's a light L in Canadian English that starts words or syllables. Now, the British L that I'm going to point out is just ever so slightly a little bit longer. I wouldn't call it like a geminate sound, but the L is just drawn out a little bit longer. And you can kind of remember this by thinking about the name Lloyd, which is a Welsh name. And in Welsh, there's like this sound. We don't want to do that. But I just mean remind yourself that British English has a longer L because you think of the name Lloyd maybe. So the sound at the beginning of words onsets with this British L is like life, lead, light, leaf, love, like, lead, right? It's not like, lead, love, laugh. So it's just ever so slightly, the L lingers at the alveolar ridge before pushing off. So this is just a very small difference you'll notice in the onsets, especially when the onset is not following any other words. So if it's just like a start, the phrase is just starting. Now, the next thing I want to draw your attention to is the x sound in clusters. Now, I first noticed this when I was watching Downton Abbey. I don't know her name anymore, but one of the characters was referring to something, and she said, "It's in a box, box, or locks." So if you combine the long L and the KS sound, which is just a little bit paused, it's like Canadian, locks, locks. British, locks, locks. She had long, lovely locks. So that long L and that paused KS sound aren't necessarily spread like evenly throughout the British accent. I'm just saying this is something I've noticed about the British accent. There's just a bit of hesitation. So instead of sax or mix, anything that's a KS sound, which is an X sound in the spelling usually, or books, pluralized words that end with a K, are going to have a brief pause. Books, box, fix, taxes. So just play with this and see if it kind of sounds a little bit more British to you. I'm going to tell you about more differences later, but thank you for joining me, and I hope everyone's taking care and staying healthy. All right, see you next time.